Good morning to you and welcome to my Monday messages. It's Easter Monday, so the first thing I want to do is wish you a very, very happy Easter weekend. I hope you've had a lovely time with your family or on your own or with loved ones, and that you've managed to have perhaps a little break from whatever preoccupies you for the rest of the time. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Rebecca and I'm a holistic health coach and homeopath. And I use those tools, those skills, to help as many people as I can to become more conscious of what works for them and what doesn't work for them. And most importantly, be able to change what doesn't work and sustain those changes and create a healthier life going forward. So my Monday messages are part of my commitment to that. And I just pop in to share a thought, a practice, an idea, pose a question maybe for the week to help you to do that. So I'm aware that you're probably occupied with other things on Monday, but I'll just launch in anyway and really to open with what Easter is all about, certainly for me. And for those of you who maybe follow a Christian-based faith, then obviously the theme is very much about resurrection, about new life, old life ending, new life beginning, and all that means. And like most Christian ceremonies, if you like, occasions, they were sort of sitting on top of much older religions, much older ways of connecting with the world around us. Very much the pagan faith was pretty much the same thing. It was about the end of the dormant, cold regeneration months and rebirth, spring, new life, new beginnings, and being connected and observant of that, of what was going on in the world around us, was absolutely integral to our lives at that point. And I think now is an opportunity for us to resurrect that, actually, to notice much more about what the world around us is doing. Whether you live in a city or whether you live in the countryside, you can't really fail to be aware of new life starting at the moment if you look at nature. Even if you don't have access to all the baby animals that are around, which I'm lucky enough to live in a rural environment. So I look out of my window and see lambs and calves and, all of those lovely creatures enjoying their first days of life. But even if you just look at the plants, then everything is in bud, everything is blooming, everything is starting up again. And also for ancient peoples who observed the natural calendar much more than we do now, this was actually very much the start of the new year. So it could be an opportunity for us to also look at how we're going to go forward and how we're going to recreate our lives, if you like. So I wanted to invite you this week to do that, to look around and be observant of all the wonderful new life that's appearing, and also what enabled that to happen. And that was that period of dormancy, that period of being able to recharge, to rest, to recuperate, and to rebuild. And we're really not much different from that. We need the same. And when we're ready to emerge and create a new life for ourselves, then we often wonder, well, what do I want? What do I want to create for myself? Particularly these days, when actually much of our previous activity, our previous freedoms are restricted. And you might have difficulty just identifying, well, what do I want going forward? So today I wanted to actually stick with the kind of theme of resurrection, if you like, and that is perhaps looking backwards a bit, and identifying any of the objects that you might have around you already that will help you to reconnect with the feelings that you maybe want to feel again or feel more of going forward. And when we identify with what we want to feel, rather than perhaps some kind of material progress, then that's going to mean much more with us. It's going to actually resonate very deeply with us, and actually we're going to feel it in every cell in our body. And at the end of the day, that is what we want. Everybody, it doesn't matter where we come from or what lives we lead. Ultimately, what we want is to feel happiness, freedom, joy, fun, love, all of those things, very basic human feelings. And that's ultimately all the things that we connect with providing us with that. That's ultimately what it's about. So perhaps just looking around with fresh eyes at what is familiar to you. So often we take for granted all the things that we have in our houses or that are in our gardens or, all around us. Perhaps we might even not have them on show. We might have them, in a cupboard or stuffed away in a drawer. But I'm willing to bet that there are objects, music tracks. In my day, it was LPs and albums, things like that. I know that if I actually go and look at my collection of music on vinyl, rather than flicking through Spotify or whatever, then just actually holding and touching a certain album or looking at the artwork, it can really bring back good memories, happy memories of a time where I felt joy and freedom and happiness and love and all of those things. Or the track itself, there might be one track on an album that does that for me, that takes me straight back to a certain time, a certain incident, a certain person. And as soon as we can reconnect with those feelings using an object, a music track, even an item of clothing, anything at all, then we are flooding our bodies with the same feel-good messages that happened to us in the original moment. So actually sometimes just reminding ourselves, kind of picking up whatever that object might be, or perhaps a photograph will do the same thing for you. And just deliberately, consciously reconnecting with those feelings is a good way sometimes to remind us of what we're actually after in life, what we would really like more of in our lives. So just this week, just see what is around you already that will serve as a shortcut for you to reconnect with any feelings that you'd like more of in your life. For me, I have a photograph of me holding my baby son. It's a long time ago now. And it was a certain moment where I was just in a state of what I think is bliss. It wasn't very long lasting, but I was holding him. I was smelling that gorgeous smell of new baby. He was really happy. He was holding on to me, and we were just moving gently around my sitting room at the time. And I remember just feeling those intense feelings of love and happiness and joy, and just thinking, this is it. This is how I want to feel. This is what I want to feel more and more of. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're going to be able to feel like that, 24 hours a day, but the more we can deliberately reconnect with those kind of feelings, the more our bodies are actually flooded with those messages as well. And it serves as a reminder to two things. One is that we can actually feel like that, and we can feel like that really quite easily if we have the right trigger. And secondly, that this is something that we want to have more of in our lives, and what can we do to help us to get closer to that? Maybe it's some kind of activity or sport or game or music, dancing. Maybe it's something that we have forgotten about. Maybe it's something that we used to do and for some reason we don't do it anymore. Maybe we could resurrect it. Maybe we could actually reintroduce it into our lives if it helps us to have those lovely feelings. So that's my message for today, is just to see what you've got already that could help you to reconnect with the kind of feelings that you'd like more of in your life going forward. And also to just reconnect with nature, to look around you and see all that lovely new life and see how that could maybe inspire you to create new, fresh, joyful, playful life in your own day-to-day living. So thank you for those of you who have joined me. And if you do have any comments, please do pop them in. Maybe you could share in the comments below maybe one object or one thing that is a kind of instant, every time I look at that, it brings a smile to my face. I remember, feelings of love, joy, happiness, whatever. That might inspire somebody else, you never know. So pop those in the comments below if you feel so inspired to do so. And if you do want to know more about working with me to help you perhaps reconnect with those kind of feelings, then do click on the link that's in the post with this video. And you can also sign up to my free newsletter, or you can claim some free video series that I offer, or you can book a free Q&A call with me if you have some questions that you want to ask. Happy Easter to you all. Have a really good week, and remember those feelings that you want more of in your life. Thanks for watching. Bye.